Welcome to the Guinness 9-Ball Tour 2007 here in the city of Kaohsiung. Well, after 24 men fought it out over 3 days, it's come down to this, the final of this leg of the tour. All right, let's have a quick look at how these two players got to the finals with our commentators Anthony and Chuck.
Thank you, George. You rolled to the finals, taking entirely different roads. Yang defeating Patrick Hoy, and then over Kenichi of Japan, 9-4, 9-7. That quarterfinal match you saw yesterday, Archie Y, 9-5, defeating Yu Lun today, 11-8. So Yang undefeated so far in this tournament. Not a blemish there. So Yang from Chinese Taipei, our first finalist here in Kaohsiung. Chao Fong Pang, well, 9-8, 9-2 over Lily, 9-5 over Ricky Yang, and the match you just saw, Anthony, over your countryman, 11-6. Alcano stayed with him for a while, but Chao playing almost flawless ball, pulling away at the end to take the win, 11-6. So he will join his compatriot in the finals. All right, Guinness shot of the day, Anthony. And here is that combination, that famous combination that Chao employed.
And looking at that, that looks similarly very, very like the graphic we had, huh?
Yes, so shot of the day, and back to George.
All right, you're going to see a lot of incredible shots like that coming your way in the final. But first up, let's see what the champions will win for themselves. For this leg and for the next few legs in Genting in Malaysia, Singapore and Shanghai, the champion will take home $15,000 US. As for the grand final in Bali, the champion will take home more than twice that amount, $36,000 is what we're talking about, as well as points to qualify for the Whirlpool Championship. All right, a lot to play for here. Now, I can tell you that it's a very interesting final that's coming up for the crowd because obviously not just two Chinese Taipei players, but two players from their very own city here in Kaohsiung, so the crowd will be divided on who to support. And not just that, Chao Fong Pang took Yang Shun under his wing when Yang was just 15 years old. So you're going to see a final between the master and the disciple. Now, Yang had a very relaxed media conference right after his semi-final win early on. He regaled the media with his stories and insights. And Yang is regarded by many here to be the best player in Taiwan, and in fact Yang feels he's come of age and he really knows his game. He's very confident about himself. He feels that he can beat almost any player, and very few can actually beat him. He cited Efren Reyes as one of those few players who could actually beat him. Now, of course, Yang also acknowledged that luck plays a big factor in this game, so you can never totally predict the outcome. As for Chao, well, he's a former two-time Whirlpool champion, but he hasn't won a major title in the last 3 years, so he's very determined to make it happen this time, if not this year. So you're going to see two men, master and disciple, very determined to lift the trophy at the end of this final. As for the crowd, they just can't wait for this sizzling final. All right, let's get things going now with our commentators. It's over to Anthony and Chuck.
Thank you, Georgina. Confirmation of your final. Chao-Yang, or Yang Ching-Shun of Chinese Taipei, will be going against Chao Fong Pang of Chinese Taipei, the two countrymen going head-to-head. As we said, it is a story of student versus teacher. I would have to disagree a little bit with that assessment. To me, Chao Fong Pang has looked much the better player, at least today, Anthony. Yang may be the best player in Taiwan, according to himself, but as we say, luck plays a lot of it. And in form, you have to be in form on the day to win. There's our referee donning the white gloves. And we are just about ready to get underway here. The finals here of the Kaohsiung leg of the Guinness 9-Ball Tour 2007. Anthony Suntain along with Chuck Schreiner. Well, 3 days, and we're down to this, the final lag, to see who will start it off. Very close lag, too. Maybe have to eyeball that one.
That's virtually dead even. But they give it to Yang Shun, and as you can see there, pretty young at the age of 29, ranked 210 in the world, and he plays right-handed.
Yeah, I like to know where they get these rankings again. Yang Shun, been around the Guinness 9-Ball Tour, first couple legs. And a very methodical player, as we saw before. There is the cold-faced killer, Chao Fong Pang, who has been magnificent throughout this tournament, 39 years of age and ranked number 41 in the world. And did an excellent job against Ronnie Alcano. In fact, all of his opponents to get here. Just taking that last breather before we get started. $15,000 up at stake, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, the first 10 finishers in this Guinness 9-ball tour will get automatic invites to the World Pool Championships in November in Manila. So 2 things to play for. Money, of course, money's important, but also, and some will say more importantly, points towards getting into the World Championships. Every pool player's dream.
Now the question is, will it be the master continuing to show the way, or will the young gun, the disciple, come up and tell the master maybe it's time for the changing of the guard?
Yeah, scoot over. 2 balls going down that left-hand side. Cue ball relatively intact, and there is a shot at the one, albeit a difficult one. So Yang, as is his habit, he will be very deliberate.
Question is, will he be more deliberate than usual?
Oh boy, I don't know if he missed that or he
No,
was
he
just
went for
trying to
safety there.
Go safe.
That was a safety shot.
Oh, that was a good one. Of course, with the reverse cut, lays it right against the cushion. Trying to force the early foul on Chao Fong Pang. The 29-year-old against the 39-year-old. So 2 generations going head-to-head.
But you know, Chuck, whenever the student goes up against the master, one of their main concerns is the fact that the master knows their weaknesses. Could it be the same case here?
The Jedi.
But right now, look at this. It's the master blinking first.
And didn't cover himself very well there, did he?
And at the same time, you know, from what I've understood always, when these great players take on some of these younger players to mentor them, they let them know everything that they do. They don't really keep anything. And so a lot of the tricks that Chao knows, Yang does too. So it boils down, I guess, to execution.
You think they tell him everything?
Well, normally they should, because, you know, from a teacher's point of view, you'd like your student to become even better than you are.
It's true.
But not when you're in the same tour, I guess, huh?
Yeah, I was thinking.
That's why they say, you know, some of the best teachers are those who are retired players already. I put in
That's
retired.
right, okay.
Because you know that you're never going to have to face
And that
them
makes
again.
sense then. I would think if I was still an active player, there'd be a couple little things I'd hold back for myself.
Because quite possibly you're going to meet in the
That's
tour somewhere, somehow. And if you don't have anything up your sleeve, you could be in trouble.
Well, Yang doesn't look to be in too much trouble in this first rack. Doing a little bit of housekeeping there. Go around. He probably might have wanted to stop a little bit closer, but that's okay. Long distance shots haven't seemed to bother him too much in this tournament. Now, a lot of matches that we have seen, Yang has indeed jumped off to a lead, only to get reeled in.
Toma break. Of course, you one.
Two-time World Pool Champion. Looking to annex his first title on the Asian Tour. He's going to come out dry. Not the kind of start he'd like to have on his break. And Yang Shun here has a decent shot at the one. Cue ball though will have to travel all around the table here. The balls are spread out. He's now going to have to go down table and then back up for the 3. And then the 4 is here sitting right beside the 6 at the lower right hand corner. That's great speed control and appreciated by the crowd, which is obviously split here between these two players. As Georgina mentioned, both not just from Chinese Taipei, but here locally from Kaohsiung. He's going to have to go now for this 4-6 combination. A lot of times when players go for a combination, so many things can happen. You obviously wanted the balls to go down. Here in this case it's a 6, but you have to make sure you also control the cue ball and the 4 to stay within that same area. And he does that excellently. Looking well on his way to taking a quick 2-0 lead and quite possibly 3-0 advantage, because he's coming up to break.
Attention.
Asking now for his extension, the very first time he's asked for that. Though if you watched the semi-final against another of his compatriots, Wu Yulun, used up every possible extension. That was a long drawn-out match with Yang coming out on top 11-8. Drawing that back for the 7. As we talked about, the balls were quite spread out from top to bottom. Now just 2 more balls to manage. Yang Shun trying to create some early daylight between him and his opponent, and he does that. It's Yang Shun up 2-0.
Because he's more deliberate, he can sort of, eat into the rhythm of the other player who might be used to be going at a little quicker pace as you watch the 8 go down.
And the 1 is going to hide behind that too. And the 6 trying to join the party.
Got a very good break, Yang does. He has shown that to be the case throughout this tournament.
Attention.
The inevitable extension.
That's a nice way of putting it. The inevitable. He's going to have to go 1 rail here. Unless he wants to go for the push.
My goodness, he's taking a lot of time.
Not calling out for the push, so trying to be aggressive.
Oh, almost works for him.
The question is, was he going offensive there?
I think he was. See his disappointment. I think he was going for that shot. The only thing he didn't know is where the cue ball was going to go. I think he had a pretty good idea that 1 would go down for him, but he didn't. You really, when you hit the ball at that angle, you really can't control the speed of the cue ball. Could have been disastrous for him, but came out of it not too badly.
It looked like both balls are racing towards that corner. See who gets there first.
Tough little shot here now for Chao.
He might have to play safe. No, he went on the offensive. Feeling comfortable.
Yeah. And able to avoid that 7. And maybe just get enough of a roll.
I guess he's figuring I'm down 2-0. If I don't take matters into my own hands, could be a short final. Another nice cut.
So the battle for Chao-Yang between two young men, or one young man and one man approaching middle age from Chao-Yang. Make matters even more interesting, one the teacher, one the student. Hope you've enjoyed our continuing live coverage of the second leg of the Guinness 9-ball tour here, 2007, as much as we have bringing it to you. Just to remind you that the next stop is Genting in Malaysia. That will be in June, followed by Singapore in July. And that's the Chao that we watched against Ronnie Alcano. So this to get on the board in our finals to make it 2-1, and that's what happens. Who has had the benefit of I guess about an hour and a half break, takes the early lead over Chao Fong Ping, but Chao has broken over Yang in that last particular rack and only trails 2-1. Gets a couple balls down on the break, including the 1, and has a shot at the 2. Guys controlling the cue ball much better now on the breaks, Anthony.
Yes, they are, and right now, of course, Chao is just happy to have gotten a couple of balls in the break. Last time he came up to break in rack number 2, he came up dry. That's why he yielded the table to Yang, and Yang just finished him off with a run out there. It's now a much better position for Chao. He's in control of the table, but he's had to come up with a couple of those cuts.
That's right. We saw
just to stay on the table.
Yeah, 2 or 3 of them in the last rack, and to lead it off here in rack number 4. Let's see. I'll be interested to see how he plans to attack this 4, because you can see the 5 at the top. He's going to go to the right side. A little bit concerned about the coverage that 8 ball was providing. I was wondering if he was going to go left or right. He stays ball side of the 6. Probably brought it out just a tad more than he wanted.
Looking like a break and run out here for Chao as he looks to tie things up here in the early stages of our final. We expected a high quality match, and it's turning out to be just that.
Perfect rotation on the ball, perfect lead. Chao quickly recuperating himself from that 2-0 deficit to tie proceedings up at 2-all. 1903, and you correctly guessed how much it costs to play a game of pool, how much money you'd have to insert into the little coin slot to release the balls. And you said
1 cent. Well, I
1
guess,
cent.
you know, I figured that was a gimme because I think that was the smallest denomination anyway.
Yeah, 1 cent. How times have changed. A couple balls in there on the break. That hasn't changed. These players are, good control of the pool, of the cue ball until the 8 comes over and smacks it over on the top. So that changes the complexion of the shot of the 1 for sure.
Attention.
Most places in the United States now cost 50 cents. You have to put 2 quarters in the table. And will that ball pop out? No. Good shot. Watch it again. One rail. That's beautiful. Chao's going to have to go in between the rail. Oh, and a foul.
Going ahead.
I thought he was going the other side of the 2.
Chao's probably thinking, I thought this kid do well.
Well, Yang again has control of the table. And let's talk a little bit about our sponsors. Of course, the Kaohsiung Business Exhibition Center. Thank you so much for your support during the week. Couldn't have done it without you. Official pool table, Brunswick. The official pool table of this tournament, and the official tablecloth, the Juan Simonis company that is over 3 centuries old, Anthony, as the 2 goes down. Official cue is a Predator. And the official apparel for the first time this year, BCLN. Very stylish shirts that these gentlemen are wearing throughout the tournament. Of course, official pool ball, no guessing about that. Aramith. Pro TV, Pro Cup ball. In particular, this cue ball with the red dots on it that makes tracking the spin on the ball so much easier, more TV friendly. Meanwhile, Yang just plowing through this rack.
Trying to restore order. He raced to a 2-0 advantage, and right off the bat, Chao answers back, ties things up at 2 now. Yang Ching slightly ahead.
Back that we saw. So it's Chao's turn.
2, 3.
Pretty clean match so far, Anthony. Not many unforced errors. I think we just saw 1 so far. Very impressive way they control the cue ball.
Well, not the best of shots on the 2. He
Yeah.
can see it.
You see it, but I think if you look at the position of the cue ball vis-a-vis the 2, chance for a scratch there if he tries to cut it. Tries to bank it back, and he's going to be a little bit short, but no worries. Let's see if the jump cue comes out now. I don't know if there is enough of a landing area.
He's got enough of a landing area, but does he feel comfortable? Well, I guess
Yeah, he's
Yang
bringing
Ching
it out.
always feels comfortable with the jump, huh?
Yeah, one of the better jump shooters in on the tour.
Extension.
Another extension called for and given.
Will wonders never cease, huh? Fasten your seatbelts. Yang Ching going airborne, and there's a foul.
Yep, looks like he made contact with the 6 before he did the 2.
That was very clear. The 5.
Or the 5, yeah. Boom. Tops it.
Didn't get enough loft.
Well, the next object ball, the 4, way up at the other end of the table. That's just about perfect.
Overran that one.
Yeah.
He's on the wrong side of the 5 now.
Which means he will have no chance of controlling where the cue ball goes after he does make contact. If he does have to hit it that far off center. Let's see if he can stop it. Brings it back instead. And the result is, well, it's going to be a longer shot for him. Degree of difficulty isn't anything to worry about. It's just more room to play with. More margin of error, if you will. Pounds that one. That's just perfect position.
He's got to hit this one with just the right speed.
Well, no matter what happens, Anthony, Chinese Taipei running away with the first 2 legs of the Guinness 9-Ball Tour 2007. They will finish first and second.
Might come up dry here. 3 going down.
Oh.
No. Second dry break of the final.
Well, we haven't seen many of them the last couple of days.
No, hardly any. At the most, maybe 5 collectively already.
We saw a couple from Yang yesterday in the quarterfinals. Yang looks very upset. Well, Chao will be very happy with the way the table's looking for him right now. He had the hot hand against Ronnie Alcano. And I guess the players are split on this, Anthony. If you're going from the semifinals to the finals, if you're playing the second semifinals, it means you have less rest. But if you have the hot hand, sometimes you don't want that rest. You want to continue and play right as soon as you can.
Actually, that's true. But you talk to most of the players, they're not really averse to actually just playing straight on through. Because a lot of times when they actually practice, they practice for hours. So it doesn't really matter whether you come up from one match, you have 5-10 minutes of break, and go straight to the next one. Shouldn't really be too much of a problem. In fact, it might be even more problem for some of the other guys who will have to wait for about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Because they're going to head on over to the practice tables anyway.
Right. Or they'll talk to friends or family or whatever, and that could take away from your concentration on the job at
True.
hand. Oof. Tough one.
Now he's going to have no control on that cue ball as he tries to look for a proper position for the next after the 6.
Kaohsiung Business Exhibition Center, a massive building. You go upstairs and get lost. Remember?
That's what happened to me the first time.
Me too.
Day 1.
And that's just looking for the toilet. Well, you go up 2 floors, you make a left, then you zig a right, then you go straight ahead, then you ask anybody in sight, where is the bathroom?
Question is there anybody up there? Long shot here for Chao.
Oh!
And that was always in the cards. That was always in the cards, the chance that he could miss. And he knew that. That's why he was disappointed about the position that he had to play.
Well, he felt he needed to hit it with pace to get the cue ball to go where it needed to in relation to the 8. Now Yang will really want to think this over. Extension called for.
He's going to have to look to bank this one. A lot of times when you go for a bank shot, it's not always a gimme. He's got to nail this one in order to stay ahead, and he does.
Oh yes, it falls for him. Some nervous moments there.
And now he's in the clear. You see how he stays down on that shot?
Very good fundamentals. You know, we sort of chide him for taking a lot of time in between shots, but nothing wrong with his shot quality, that's for sure. Now he broke to start the game, so everything on serve at the moment. One goes in, 2 is already down. And let's see where the 3 is in relative position to the cue ball, and he's not going to like that at all. So, let's see what's on offing here. Really too much green. Well, let's see if he goes for the jump shot. I was just getting ready to say too much green to go for the jump shot, but he may feel he has no choice at the moment.
Hey.
Yang much more likely to pull out his jump stick, but Chao gives it the try. Let's see if he's able to hide it. It does dip behind the 9 ball, so ends up being a pretty good shot. Although you can see, he can see most of the ball, but really not a true pocket to put it in. Yang started out leading this match 2-0. Chao came back to win the next 2 racks, and they've been trading back and forth since then. So there's your score, and another extension called for by Yang. He probably wishes there was not a 45-second rule. Let's see how he attacks this. Just clips it behind the 6, brings it all the way back up the table, and that's a beautiful shot. Not only does he cover it up, but puts the cue ball very close indeed to the 4, the pink 4. Right there. So Chao will take it from the other side and we'll give it a knock. And that's not too shabby either. 2 great looking cover shots. See enough of the 3. Great angle there by the camera. Does just enough to see it. It's a nice shot. So the next object ball, the 4, no problem, but he's looking down the line and you can see that little cluster down to the left or to the west of the 9 ball. So at some point he's going to have to deal with that, provided he can knock off the obvious ones here. Doesn't like that for some reason. Perhaps he feels he's a little bit too straight on the 5. So this will be the positional shot here that Yang will be concerned about. He has to get the cue ball in position for that 6 and 7. Might have done just enough. I think he can see the 6. I think it does clear the 7. Of course, the danger always after that occurs, where will the 7 ball go? Will he be able to get to it without moving it? Looks like he might be able to. It's going to be close. That's a fine, fine shot. Yang really tearing it up in this rack. None of these shots are gimmies. Indicating the landing area of the cue ball. Well, I drew it back just a little bit beyond that, but no worries. I think this is the finest rack he has played thus far in this finals. Quite deservedly goes up 5-3. Fong Chao.
You get the feeling that both these players are just feeling each other out and trying to look for the opportunity, the opening to take advantage.
Sort of seems that way. It just seems like that Yang is just more in control of the table. And well, look at that 4. It's going to go down.
So 2 balls down in the break.
See the wing ball 7 and the 4 just taking a walk in the park over there to the hole and it disappears. Again, good control of the cue ball on the break. If he could get this 1 to go, table looking good for him now. That was another fine shot. Yang's on fire at the moment.
And this is the Yang Ching Shun that I expected to see in the earlier match.
Oh, I can see why, under good circumstances, he could be one of your favorite players. He's very good analytical skills at the table. He understands angles.
Well, he's got a good teacher.
There you go, 2-time world champion. Can't do much better than that.
The two-time world champion probably thinking to himself, I taught this kid too well.
Taught him too well.
Now he's going to steal one title from me. Well, a lot can still happen, of course. But Yang Ching-Shun is the kind of player that doesn't get phased at all.
He doesn't let anybody take him out of his rhythm. That's what I like about him. I didn't like the way he played that last match against Wu.
Neither did I.
I thought it was very uneven, way too many mistakes. He seemed to lose his concentration, but he has been rock solid here.
And as you predicted, he's going to double up. And the two-time world champion.
There it is right there. 6-3. So Chao certainly knows now that he's up against it. Got to get the machine rolling now. One goes down. And I guess that's about it. The three being kissed on the opposite side of the table there. See the 3-7. That could be a little bit of a mess later on. So Chao will have to deal with this 3-7 situation after the 2. It's going to be interesting to see how he approaches it. Oh dear. And that's the problem. That is the problem. You can see the 3-7, and he was trying to make his approach to it by going, basically just circumnavigating the whole table, but
I think he was also trying to create separation if he possibly could. But instead of that happening, went straight into the pocket.
yeah.
And now he's going to give ball in hand here for his student. And the disciple will say, thank you very much. And could well run out this table here. People still moving around the venue here.
All over the place. I know in a lot of tournaments they've got the seatbelt rule where you sit down, you stay down.
Especially when play is going on. That's a good thing it didn't bother the players. Right now, though, Chao's looking for anything that can actually just bother Yang. He's taken the last 3 racks.
Yeah, and since it was 2-2, he's taken 4 out of 5.
And the frown is back. It's a shot that he's got to hit properly. He does. And now he's home free.
Should be.
And he's coming up to break too. That's more trouble for Chao.
Well, he doesn't like his position on the 8 for some reason. You see him go sort of a disgusted sound with his mouth. We'll see why here in a minute. Guess he was afraid he was going to overrun it, which he has.
He's put too
slightly.
much in this one. Actually, it would have been better served if it just had a couple of more revolutions, or if it stopped
Yeah,
earlier.
yeah.
Not exactly where it stopped now. That's the only place you didn't want it to be.
Yeah. guess he felt with that angle it would be more difficult for him to control the cue ball, and proved to be true. It's makeable. It's a hassle at this point. Let's see. Yes, 7-3. Taipei going against Yang Shun, also from Chinese Taipei. And right now, Yang getting the better of it. 7-3. 4-ball goes down, along with another one. It looks like he's got a shot at the one, Anthony.
Yes, he does, but he's shaking his head. I'm wondering why. He normally comes up with a reaction like that when none of the balls go in, but he actually got 2 balls to go on the break, and so, that's another reason why a lot of fans like Yang Shun is because this guy is such a perfectionist. He had a pretty good break. Look at that. 2 balls on the break. He's got a good shot at the one, but
yeah, I can see why he doesn't like it because he's looking at the 2. It's right in the middle of a little cluster there. You see that little sardonic laugh by Chao?
He says, it's about time. You're getting the same luck I was getting, huh? But he's got to just relish the position he's in right now. He's got a 7-3 advantage. He's still on the table. He's got a pretty decent shot on the one. This is missable, though.
Yeah, it's also foulable. Let's see what happens here. Oh, nice shot.
Boy, he just nailed that one.
He did. Now, here's where the fun starts, though.
Oh, he doesn't have an alley. I know he don't want to see his mentor back on the table, but he's got to play safe here.
Got a lot of length out of that. The gentleman there is beside himself with happiness. See him?
He must be a Yang Shun fan.
Ear to ear grin.
It's either that or he just knew he was on television.
Well, Chao hasn't been given an easy task here.
And no grinning for Chao at all. He was smiling though in that semifinal earlier.
Foul.
Foul.
Wow.
Going hit.
Boy, he miscalculated that one.
Well, Yang was talking before the match to Georgina and stating that, to win these things, you need an element of luck. And the balls have certainly rolled the way of Yang during this final. Saying that,
Hardly any luck going the way of this man.
yeah, well, he's had luck, bad luck. But an 8-3 lead at this point in the match, you have to wonder, with the alternating brake system, if that's just a bridge too far for Chao, no matter how well he plays. We know what he's capable of. We saw he played very, very well in the semifinals.
Well, it's possible now. Take a look at this. This is key.
Yikes.
This is
He
key.
has made a mess of it, hasn't he?
Well, that was really very difficult. You can see that big grin from Chao, and he's probably saying, see, that's what I thought. I was telling you that about, that was lesson number 2. How to get proper preparation and position for the next shot. Oh, he's going to just tie it
Yeah,
up.
he's just going to tie it up and call him, take the foul. Smart play.
The thing is, Chao's going to come up here. He knows exactly what he wants to do. He's going to come up with another safety shot and try to invoke the 3-foul rule.
Aha. Hadn't thought about that, Anthony.
Watch this one. Going to hide behind that 6. There you go.
So Yang has 2 fouls already.
1 foul.
1 foul.
Number 2 could be coming up, but
Yeah.
he has a one-rail escape here.
We saw this in the World Championship when I think we had a cluster of 3 or 4 balls, so they just went back and forth like that and trying to get each other to foul. Can't remember who the players were.
Gonna try to come up the short rail. And back. Oh, if that nudges, that's
Going to come up just
that's
short.
a second foul. If he just missed that, if he just missed the jaw of that pocket, he would have been good. Watch this again. He had the right spin, just a little bit too much. And now, look at Chao. Looking for the same position. He's going to try to do the exact same thing.
3 fouls, and the rack is already automatically over, and it will go the way of Chao, who needs all the help he can get right now. Down 7-3 in the finals. He's going to put it on in the exact same place, isn't it?
And Chao says, so, you tied it up? Let's see you get out of this one.
Frozen ball.
Frozen ball. Is the call? Well, you got to just try your luck now and bust them out of there, right? Surely, if you foul, you foul. Try and get contact with the orange 5 first. And there's your third foul.
Yes.
Okay, so, well, that's one way to win a rack. So 7-4, Chao Fong Peng. We saw a classic in that last marathon rack. Chao Fong Peng using some wily smarts to get the rack off of Yang. So 7-4. There goes that 8. Where is it going to stop? Another look at it. Ball in the side pocket. And the 8 looking for a home down at the other end, but it's going to be nudged back. Well, nothing easy.
Looks like you're going to be playing safe here. Does he get it behind? I don't think he has.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't. No pocket for it to go, but what that does allow Yang to do is produce a safety of his own.
If you just had an 8 closer to that corner pocket, the billiard would present itself for Yang. Just trying to use the 9 as a blocking ball, and I think he's a little bit more successful than Chao was in his earlier attempt.
Well, last couple of racks have been definitely racks about hide and seek.
Oh boy, he can see at least 3/4 of the ball from that angle. Oh, that's much better. Finally, a quality safety. As far as Yang is concerned, though, you don't want to give your mentor too many chances, though.
Yang wants to keep the clearance between him and Chao about like that. 7-4, 8-5, that's fine.
He's going to try to take this off one rail in. I can't see the 9 actually entering that corner pocket because of the disturbance of the 8 ball, but he makes contact. And now Chao with a chance to draw even closer.
Both these guys a little bit war-weary after 2 or 3 days. It is a marathon. Uh-oh.
It stays up.
Just a sliver of air. All it is between that side jaw. So,
Well, he's forced to go for the combination here.
has to go for it.
And bad things can happen.
Yeah, it looks like he thought he mishit it there for a minute, but he did pretty well.
That was hit perfectly.
Okay, not an easy shot here, this 6. A little bit tougher to keep control of the cue ball when its angle is that obtuse. Oh, nice job. Well, the footsteps Mr. Yang is hearing right now are those of his teacher, Fong Pong. Because now it is 7-5. Not worried. He's smiling a lot, Anthony.
I've never seen this kind of demeanor from this man.
Maybe he
Ever.
knows something we don't.
Well, earlier Georgina talked about the fact that he was here with his kids and his family, so they might be in the house and maybe he sees them around the area, around the venue,
7-5.
smiling at them.
You think that's it?
Well, he's definitely changed his demeanor, that's for sure. From being the cold-faced killer, he's now the smiling gentleman.
Well, we saw that face of him, the cold-faced killer in the semifinals, that's for sure. But he seems very relaxed. Now, losing control of the cue ball again, and lucky he doesn't lose more than that.
The problem is he doesn't have a great look at the 1. He can see it, but to go completely offensive, I'm not sure. That's going to be asking for a lot, even from someone of the caliber of Ching Shun.
You can see the 6-ball boot the cue ball way up top. Ask for the extension again.
Extension.
Okay, well, not too bad. The 1 is showing for him. But the problem is there, you can see it right about there. Wow. I don't think it passes, does it?
He can masse around it if he wants to use the masse.
Doesn't appear to have any choice.
He can go airborne too.
Must have heard you, Anthony.
Was I speaking that loud?
Yeah, he's run over there for that stick. And he waved over to you on the way over. Come on, you guys got some. There's some plot going on here. There's the shot.
But that's not the result he wants. Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
that's
Look
a
at
great
this.
shot.
That was sort of leaving it up to chance, huh?
So Anthony Sunte with the friendly advice to Xiao Fong Pang, who takes it.
Does he buy us a beer after or what? Studying the angles here is Ching Shun. Well, you talked about it earlier. He's now starting to feel and hear the footsteps. And his mentor is not coming over to give him a quick lesson.
Yeah, it's getting really sticky going here for Yang in the last couple games, last couple racks.
He's trying to go for the billiard. But luckily he has not left an open shot, but still enough for Chao Fong Pang to come up with a wicked safety. Oh, he hasn't done well there. And he knows it.
No, he hasn't locked it up, but still, it doesn't look like Yang's going to be able to do much with it. You know, they can trade safeties back and forth, I guess. Still waiting for one of the guys to blink and get the ball in the open.
Well, if he feels comfortable, he can go for the bank here.
See what happens. Not on yet.
Hard to tell from the angle where we're at. Yes.
Yeah.
He's got a full eclipse.
So stuck on the one ball still after about 5 minutes, and Chao will have to go airborne.
He's got to make sure he keeps that ball on the table.
Keep it on the table and keep it moving, preferably back up the top of the table, away from the one. And I don't think he's done it.
No, he hasn't, but he's left a very tough cut here for Ching Shun, which I believe Ching Shun will take and should take. Can't be a champion if you don't take risks.
He's already used his extension.
I've lost count, really. If the extension was for this rack or for the last rack.
He's going, no, I thought I had an extension every shot. No?
Not in this tournament, at least.
Oh, that's
Went
a
for it.
beautiful shot, isn't it? Applauding himself just a bit. Now that opened things up. A little bit more spring in his step.
Well, being clear 3 racks over your mentor will give you that. He still has not gotten down the speed of this table. I'm surprised after a very long match he had earlier in the semis. And obviously the conditions haven't changed much from 2 games ago. A lot of the fans inside here have opted to stand up. Can't take the pressure. Oh, that's spot on.
Yeah, there's no testy shots now on the table. So if he can just keep his composure. Of course, some people dispense with courtesy and leave their cell phones on. There you have it, 8-5 in favor of Yang, Chin, Shun. Just when
You can't be down 9-3. 9-5 actually.
gets the one to fall, gets a lot of balls to fall. The two, he's got a great look at that.
Well, he can see it, but it's going to be a tough start to this rack for him. Three balls on the break. He really has to get this rack. If he gives this up,
He should have it. Look at the relative position of the balls. I mean, I think he's going to breeze through this one. I hope I'm not jinxing him. Steady as you please.
and he's going through this really quickly.
As we said, like a hot knife through butter. Had to extend himself just a little bit there. We'll bring it back for easy shot on the 9, and this to close it to 8-6. To remind Yang that, hey, I'm still here. I'm not going anywhere. 8-6 it is. So Yang, Ching, Shun. Well, that rack lasted about 20 seconds. The one before that was like 20 hours.
Look at that. He's waving to the crowd. He said hi to someone.
He's having a good time. He doesn't think it's over yet.
Well, definitely it's not over, not by a long shot, that's for sure. But right now, Yang Ching Shun has got to be pleased with the position he finds himself in. Up by 2 racks, clear, and he's coming up to break. Trying to extend that lead further. Once again, we'll see what happens.
Okay?
But he's got to feel relaxed with the position he finds himself in. He now controls his own destiny.
Well, he can just stay away from the fouls. That's the main thing. We saw him fall for a bit the other day when he got a lead.
Here's a nice kiss on the 2. Shaking his head, but he's got to be happy with that last-minute kick by the 5 on the 2, because if not, he might not have been able to see it at all. Watch it again.
Or maybe he was hoping for the push out.
He was well, at least now actually he can see the entire 2 ball, so he can actually come up with a safety shot. I don't think you'd like to be able to come up with a push out,
No, I
not
mean,
at this stage.
Yeah, but before. That sort of took that option away from him. Let's see if he is going to go offensive with this shot. No. Oof. Might have botched that one.
Looks like it.
Yeah, you know, why else would Chao come bopping out of his chair like that? Let's see. Look at that angle. No.
But this is not an easy shot for Chao, but still one that he can make, and he should make if he wants to come back in this match.
Oh my goodness. Wouldn't you know it?
But as I said, it's a shot that you can miss. But Chao needed to make that one if he wanted to come back in this match.
I mean, that was a golden opportunity for him.
Well, you make it, you could quite possibly tie up this match.
Well, he's not smiling now. No mistake there. Now the table is in great shape for Yang Chin Shun. Chao just unable to put a run together of his own.
And you know, I could be wrong, but this might be a first for either of these two players to win here on the Asian Tour.
Yeah, I think it is. Well, we know it didn't happen last year.
Oh, that's for sure. That is a certainty.
So Yang just going about his business here. Doesn't want to overrun this, and he hasn't. He's fine. Very impressive stuff here. Working off of the mistake of Chao. That's what champions do. He has opened up a 3-rack lead once again. Remember, he led 8-5. Chao came back to make it 8-6. Now 9-6. And time running out for the two-time world champion against his protege, who has looked, to be quite honest, a stronger player. Let's look at the rack, how it developed. It was the initial miss by Yang, but the subsequent follow-up miss by Chao, and he took it and ran. That's a beautiful little cut shot there. That's what started it. In fact, the only tough shot on the table, because after that, Yang just fired through the rack. So surely Chao must have an inkling now that he has to find a way. He has left it very, very late in the day.
Break 16. Chao Mang's break. Score is 6-9.
Well, it's now or never now for Chao Fong Pang. And he gets the result that he was looking for. Not the best of looks on the two, though. It's going to be quite a challenge here to start out. Rack number 16, but he's up to the task. Now looking to make quick work of this, to try to put some pressure on Yang Shun. Wants to be able to nudge that out of the way. There's just enough space, I think. He didn't want to come this close to the 9. Oh, that's a foul. That's a huge mistake here. And you're going to hand this to Yang Shun on a silver platter. Christmas coming early for Yang Shun, courtesy of Chao Fong Pang. And this to get on the hill for Yang. He could have not had a worse result as far as Chao Fong Pang is concerned. He was breezing, looking to end his title drought and annex his first title on the Asian Tour. Well, he dodged the bullet there. Watch it again. The cue ball getting kicked around, almost fell into the corner pocket. That would have spelled doom for him in this rack, but he stays alive, but he does not have the best of shots on the 1. going for cover. Does Chao Fong Pang have an alley? I don't think so. He's going to have to go around the world for this one. And he'll have to make contact. And he makes contact and knocks it down. Excellent play there for Chao. Though I'm sure he didn't really expect to knock that down, but at this stage, he'll take it. Once again, leaving himself a tough shot on the 3. With your back against the wall, down 10-6, this is not the kind of shot you want to be faced with. And he almost missed it. Should be smooth sailing from here on in, but just when I said that, he comes up with a huge mistake once again, and obviously his mind is not on this match anymore. There was a direct alley for him, and how can you come up with a miss such as that one? He looked so disinterested. And now just 4 balls away for young Shun.
Well, he's been yucking it up the last 3 or 4 racks, so maybe he just doesn't have the feel and just a bridge too far from him. And Yang going straight to work on that 4. Which, by the way, was the toughest shot on the table.
Oh, not the position Yang would want to be.
Well,
I think he was getting ahead of himself.
I think
he
too.
knew this title is in the bag, but you know, you're going to have to win this. Nothing is going to be handed to you.
Although Chao's been doing his best lately.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. Especially in the last rack.
Yes, rattles it home. Championship ball here for Yang Shun. And he does it. The Chao-Yang winner of the Guinness 9-ball tour, Chao-Yang leg, Yang Shun. Racks that he won. And there is the second foul and the third foul.